Yo vlog. It's 2024 now. Returned to work again this week, Wednesday. And yeah, this vlog is a bit different. It's like along my journey of documenting experiences. Probably had like the most saddest experience like in regards to working um in the last few weeks kind of thing. So yeah, someone who I was like a student staff member who I was had a good bond with, I would say, passed away, and I found out on Christmas Eve. And yeah, it was hard when I first heard it. Couldn't believe it. Literally spoke to her like the week of it happening, and we made plans around like things she wanted to do for 2024, help and assistance for that thing. And yeah, and I've only known her for 3 months. Like I've known her since September. Met her in enrollment when we was doing like she was as a staff member doing enrollment activity, and she was like alongside like working in the students union. She was one of the head sisters of like a big society on campus, and she was just very focused on that. Like literally, first memory I have of her is like her coming up to me and being like, "Oh yeah, Devontae, what do you think about getting water poured over you for charity, like as like a charity fundraiser event?" And of course, like we just met, so it's like just like that's humor and like laughing off and that kind of thing. And yeah, like developed like short highs and buys, and then we had like a long conversation at like a student staff dinner. And yeah, that was like a big thing. Like that was like lots of like good energy, like hour plus conversation, just the two of us like at the dinner, like everyone's having dinner, just the two of us just having a conversation. And yeah, um that was nice, and it led to like lots of different like journey kind of shifts and like things I wanted to do. Like she was Muslim, and we spoke about her faith, my thoughts and my views around things in general. And yeah, that led me to then want to have like a fuller conversation with her like going forward. So ended up reading the Quran a bit, and I thought to myself, cool, I'm gonna create loads of questions, so by the time we have another conversation it's like more full. And I planned on like doing this and had the vision of like, oh yeah, the next time we have a conversation about this is going to be a full conversation about her perspective, my perspective, and so forth, my questions. And yeah, so ended up reading the Quran from like November. So this is November. We had that conversation from November, and probably like mid-November I started picking up until December time. And yeah, within that same time period, like many like lots of interactions in the office. Yeah, like when she's in the office, like I'm always seeing her doing something that's purposeful around her society or her work, and it's just like I just appreciate the energy. And that was nice to kind of like communicate with and be around. Like she's just always so just like focused on like purpose and stuff and doing what she wants to. I don't want to say every single story in the world because I'll be here forever kind of thing. But because yeah, yeah, just to stick on this theme of the Quran, like I've been reading it, and I was reading up until the holidays, so the Christmas holidays. And this was about, we had a long conversation on the phone. This is gonna be bits. This is gonna be all over the place. It's gonna be all over the place, this one. But yeah, sticking on the Quran subject. Actually, I'm just gonna say the whole thing. Forget. I can't be out to segregate each section. Like lots of interactions in the office. Just in general around different stuff of value too. And yeah, I just remember always like having like a spot. having like a spot of like just like, oh yeah, I'll do that for sure. Like she needs something printed in for her society for sure, that kind of thing. And yeah, we just had like a good relationship, just friendship. I'd say friendship. And yeah, yeah, as I said, it's no point going through the minor details, but in summary, it was around the last time I saw her in person was in this office, and like usually she's like very just up and energetic, like she's doing charity weeks, fundraisers, and loads of charity weeks, bake sales on campus. So this was a bake sale she was doing, and yeah, I went to the office and she looked like unwell, like proper unwell. Like she was coughing, she had a mask on. Her friend was there, like her sister, and like in Islam they say sister, and yeah, I was like, "Are you alright?" She's like, "Nah, I think I've got a virus or something. Something's gone around." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. Do you feel like you should be in today?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm here anyway." And yeah, I'm here now. And she was literally, despite being like at least like 70% and below, like she was helping her friend, her sister, know how to do the charity week and so forth. Like, so yeah, that held strength to me, and that was inspiring. And I was like, "Oh yeah, are you sure you can't get someone else to do this?" She said, "No, there's lots of different stuff going on in the world, to other people, and yeah, this is alright." And her charity perspective was like around just helping kind of like unfortunate and that kind of thing, and like and all these different political like issues going on. Like that's what she was kind of like representing and raising money for. And yeah, um, that was that. And yeah, that was that. Of course, you're not thinking that's the last time you're gonna see someone. So we ended up. I think I got colleagues wanted to come in quickly, so I'm gonna let them in, move in a different room. Yeah, I don't know where they went, so return back. But yeah, so saw her there, and she was literally like, "Oh yeah, I'll just sit down the whole time, like it will be fine." And yeah, like me and my Sab, my friend, Sab teammate, we just reflected on that same interaction when we saw her, and was like, "Oh no, she's a warrior, like she's great. Wow, so much, like wow, that's amazing." And yeah, that was the last time I saw her in person. Um, and then within that same week, we communicated, and because I still want to talk to her around like elections and stuff, like she thought about running for an election position. So she mentioned to me that, yeah, you probably won't see me for the rest of the week, and I was like, that's I wanted to talk to you about elections too. I said, "See you in 2024." I said that, and she was like, maybe I may come in on Friday potentially. I work from home Friday, so that didn't align in general. But you're always thinking, "Oh yeah, I'll just see you in 2024." And yeah, what I'm happy about is that I mentioned in that same text that, "Oh yeah, maybe you can do it MS Teams, like a online chat," because it was the holiday season coming up, so it would have been the next week would have been the holiday. So said that, and we ended up having like a conversation on like the Wednesday, the Wednesday, for like an hour around like elections, and yeah, that was the main theme, and give all these tips and advice and her thoughts and her concerns and what was on her mind and so forth, and just like using my kind of like election experience to go through that. And yeah, that was a good conversation. And then on the Thursday, remember I said I was reading the Quran, I ended up going to chapter 3, because I thought, cool, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read a few chapters before I let her know that I've started it, because she said, "Let me know when you start the chapters." And yeah, I sent her a message saying 3, like I put 3 fingers up, and I took a picture of the chapter 3 that I was on. And on the Thursday, she wrote "sick," like amazing, and she wrote "sick" with like exclamation marks. And then on the Sunday, I got a text in a group chat that she passed away. And when I heard that, on the Sunday, Christmas Eve, like I was eating apple apple crumble. Like my grandma made some apple crumble, and I was eating. I was like, this is the last time I'm gonna eat this for this period because I've been eating this quite a bit now, and I made it my biggest kind of like portion of it. I was online searching like health tips and like 100-year-olds and their advice and so forth, and then probably took like a bite or 2 bites, and then I get an alert in the group chat that the person's passed away, and I thought that can't be that. No, couldn't be her. Went onto social media, her society's Instagram page, and it confirmed that that was her, and yeah, that was sad. Like I haven't experienced like losing someone I had a good bond with before, so that was new, and just processing that emotion was different. Like walking up and down the house, it was like 11 p.m. at night, like that cake and custard, that apple crumble I didn't touch again, and yeah, me looking at the whole 100 years and so forth, like taught me like life is quite precious and finite. Like things can happen, and Christmas Day now, crying, all that kind of thing, all that emotion and so forth. Spent time with the family too. It was recommended to spend time with family, so was able to do that. But beyond that, just like lots of just emotion and tears, like beyond that. And I spent basically the second week going forward of the holiday kind of just processing this. Like I was emotional and lots of research online, like trying to find different things that links to her and that kind of thing. And then I was alerted that her funeral would be within that same holiday, so I was able to go to the funeral. And yeah, that wasn't nice. That was emotional, but it was up until that point. It felt like my hands were tied behind my back because I was just online trying to find answers, trying to look for this thing, look for that thing. Who follows her? Who does that? Trying to see what's going on. And yeah, that was hard. But then the funeral bit, after I've been able to read the Quran and see what she believes in, it's like it was kind of nice to kind of like be able to action something, like be there in person and have something tangible to where I'm around people who are here for the same reason and we're here for her kind of thing. And that was nice, but lots of emotion, like crying and so forth. And but I said I'm happy I was able to communicate with her in that holiday, because it doesn't make it easier, but I'm happy I was able to do that. And literally her last message was on the Friday to specific group chats, just mentioning around, because she had in our society like there's specific alerts that are good for specific like group chats, and she was mentioning that to specific group chats. And the last sentence she wrote she wrote basically in translation like stay blessed, like everyone. And yeah, that was hard because like she wrote that on the Friday. On the Saturday she passed away. Because it's like I couldn't open that Quran for like that period. I've been able to get back into it now, but beyond that, nah. Like literally the day after Christmas, like there was like an employee assistance kind of line that you can call when you experience kind of bereavement and grief kind of thing. And it was like late at night, like probably 11 or 10 or I don't know, like late at night. And I thought, nah, I'll just call them and see what they're about, like just out of curiosity, like, well, how can this help me kind of thing. Like there's only benefit in this, so let me do it. And yeah, I was able to do that kind of thing. Spoke with my mum a lot. I was able to look at lots of near-death experiences and like try to reflect what happened to a friend, to how these people experience near-death experiences and what they saw in the afterlife and that kind of thing, and trying to find comfort in that. And yeah, because I remember the first conversation we had, it's like, I'm gonna just express it, like she's of like Islam, like Muslim faith, and one of the conversation topics was like, oh yeah, the afterlife, like her beliefs, my belief, or my thoughts. And one of the things she mentioned to me is like, oh yeah, the reason why, like, what do you want to be sure that, like, you mentioned around not knowing that there is that afterlife, or like her thoughts and like my thoughts and that kind of thing. And her faith is based on like just being sure, like, so living certain ways just to be sure that regardless, like, if there isn't, like, just to be sure, like, this is why I do this kind of, that's why I follow my belief and so forth. And yeah, it was just like profound that she mentioned like her definition of afterlife, like the scenery and so forth. And then I'm reading Quran, same definition. I'm looking at these near-death experiences. What the first one I ever looked at had the exact same description of what was mentioned in the book and what she mentioned, and that was kind of like, wow, that was crazy. Um, and yeah, came to work now, back at return to work, and yeah, yesterday was hard, like just being in the office. I had a student I had to interact with, and that was hard to kind of just be there for that student without feeling agitated at the same time of like, I'm not in the headspace for this. And yeah, I literally spent the afternoon or the day, first half of the day, spoke with my team, like my sabbatical officer team. We just expressed ourselves and how we felt, and then literally just out of the blue had like a long conversation with another friend, colleague, like in the afternoon, and that took me until like 4 p.m. or something about the situation. And yeah, so lots of different methods of grieving and so forth. And yeah, I'm always trying to find something that, like, even my hair, like I haven't cut my hair since this, yeah, I haven't had to cut my hair since I've heard this news, and like beyond that. So this hair represents, like, for me, all the times I saw her up until that point. So yeah, just stuff like that, just trying to keep it there and like stay present with that kind of thing. But yeah, like, wouldn't expect that to happen. You wouldn't think about that happening, kind of thing. So yeah, it's been hard, just in terms of like processing, trying to like go day by day, because like, one, is someone's passed away. Two, you had a good bond with this person, like you can sense the bond, like one of them bonds where you just go with it, like you don't really like think about it too much, like you're just like, all right, yeah, and you just live off that kind of thing. And yeah, so but she's a great person and she done great things, like literally lots of charity was done, like literally, I don't want to mention charity bit because I know in Islam it mentions like you don't even need to like speak about charitable deeds and so forth and that kind of thing. So yeah, but just know that she got like a good kind of like reception regarding like charity, and that was good considering that's what she was all about, fundraising. And it's nice that it went to a full circle moment to where certain things are being done in her name. And yeah, I'm happy that that's happening and so forth. And yeah, but as I said, I kind of like had the time to like cry, process day by day, even up until yesterday. Um, like, yeah, so it's gonna be like that for a bit potentially. And but I feel, I don't know, it's yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna try to intentionally get into my feelings and cry on camera, kind of thing. But that's just where I'm at the moment in terms of like, that's what's happened. And yeah, just going forward with it, and just wanna use that energy towards who she was and what she represented, and what she represented to me, like just as like an individual that I kind of like was able to communicate with. Just use that just to have a strong 2024. And yeah, but if you never know what's true and what's not true, that's why faith's important. But I know that wherever she is, she's in a great place, and she's in the greatest place because she was great. She done great things. And what it made me think about around religion is that my personal view right now is that every single religion is there to kind of like align you towards just peace and like inner peace and inner consciousness. Like no matter which one it is, it's just like a form, it's like a tool to kind of like live, kind of thing. It's not like this one's more than this one, that one's more than that one. Just like tools, like moral tools to kind of like guide you. to ensure that your spirit's in the right place for the time that you transition, kind of thing. But yeah, she's only 21, and yeah, so that was hard. But yeah, as I said, like I'm not gonna intentionally cry on camera. So um, yeah, this year is gonna be for her, and yeah, we're gonna have a great year representing her. The only thing I wish that she would come to me in a dream. Like every night I'm always thinking that, oh yeah, tonight she'll come to me in a dream, just to give that reassurance that she's in this place, and I just wanna see her again. You get me, like yeah, I just wanna see her again in whatever form, whether that be, it can't be in person. Yeah, I just want to see her again and have like a good, profound kind of like a good kind of like firm, like cool. This is her showing herself that she's in a great place and that kind of thing. But I always imagine that because in Islam they say Allah's the best of planners and so forth. So I imagine because it was an accident that she passed away in, like I had this thought around, like, oh yeah, if she survived that accident and she had like life changing circumstances, potentially she wouldn't I don't know, just hypothetically, her faith could have dropped a bit, not being able to do the stuff that she was doing. So knowing that she was in good faith and good like conscious like with her religion and what she believed in going into that incident, I don't. That's the thought. Like I'm always thinking like, what happened? How did it happen? By the way, it wasn't like a chest infection. It was just a chest infection. It wasn't a virus. Like that's what she told me on the phone. And just thinking, how did that happen? I'm not gonna go into the details of what happened, but how did it happen? Kind of thing. That's a thought. And yeah, but that's that. That's been the saddest moment of course. And yeah, just know that I had a good connection with her, and yeah, just gonna represent for her now, and just know that this is reality. Like this is what happens in life sometimes, and yeah, you just got to kind of grieve and have that process, and then turn it into strength and go forward with life. Yeah, I want to come off this camera now. Because I'm still in that process of kind of like processing and grieving. So I'm gonna come off the camera and just go on with the evening and just be in my state. Because as I said, like day by day, like you find bits and pieces to be joyous about. But yeah, it's been quite, the energy is different at the moment for me personally, and I'm sure for many people in the office too, in their internal. So yeah, that's that. 2024 is for you. Much love, much respect, much just blessings to you and your family. And yeah. One thing I forgot to mention, a key detail. This is one of the biggest things that kind of like touches me, is that when we was at the gravesite, when we was at the burial, and we all got to throw dirt, then the crane-looking thing threw the rest of the dirt, like the heaps of the dirt onto there, and then it was a wet day, but it wasn't rain. It wasn't like we're raining when we was there, but it was a wet day. As soon as the crane finished like pouring the dirt on, that's when the rain started. And yeah, that was big for me, and that was a moment for sure. So yeah, just all the I hope you're in a good place. Much love, and yeah, just represent well, and I want to represent you well, and have a good year on your behalf, and yeah, thank you for bringing me closer towards greater things, just by your example, and yeah, just